God within. I know it's time to win. I run it like begin. Scooter is the realest. Scooter is the trillest. Get up out your feeling. Need to go get some healing. Cause they really sleeping. I never really was creeping. Somebody call up LA. It's time for a fucking meeting. Tell Hov I need my meeting. They say I'm here breathing. I got plenty of seedling. It's time to do some feeding. Chef Scooter is proceeding. Chef Scooter is that nigga. Chef Scooter cook it up. Chef Scooter whip it up. Chef Scooter turn it up. You bout to get it up. Chef Scooter, Chef Scooter, Chef Scooter. Hey. I live my days in sin. I pray to God within. I know it's time to win. I run it like begin. Scooter is the realest. Scooter is the trillest. Get up out your feeling. Need to go get some healing.
Still searching, meaning in this life, why this world turning. Yeah, if I'm alright, I don't care about a like. I know the bigger picture got a bigger purpose. Yeah, you know I'm stacking this money, but somehow still lost in my 20s. Funny we lost hope when COVID taught us to cope. Who would've thought that the world was alone hurting? Yeah, looking at my little brother. Depression is the quickest way to cause murder. Yeah, in grade school other people murmur, but he's still alive. I call him the overcomer. Some days I think, do God see us? Life is a balance. Young talented Libra who seeks peace but keeps tough, who needs G's and Jesus, who turns east and prays up. With one girl he lays up, the family on his mind. He can't run, nah, he can't run. Putting things down into action, making a plan. No more telling other people I ain't showing my hands. Got a goal on my mind, I ain't kicking the can. Homeboys call like when we kicking again. Old friends, new friends, I got life changes, new man. I'm not one to hate on you, and we are trying to make it to a conclusion. Let it out, yeah, let it out, let it out, yeah, let it out. Oh, I said let it out. Yeah, I'm just trying to be free. Turn me up, yeah. I've been sleeping every night with a different plan on my mind. Am I getting any close to that man you designed? I ain't looking for a handout, praying for a sign, but I figure faith could make the stars you align. Them other girls I would playtime, yeah, but with you I can make time. The passion you got like grapevines, I know we'll both grow in age like great wine. Yeah, cause life is a poetry book. All these wrong turns, you don't wanna go look. And this pain that I felt before is no more. Everything getting better when you know you enough. Yeah, can't stress a thing I don't know. And I pray for friends I've outgrown. Most things nowadays are bluff, but I'm trying to know that God who was burning a bush. Let it run, G. Bring the bongos in. Yeah. So soulful. Yeah. I write this last chapter for you and us. 7 years, bro, man, what a rush. Crazy how, even when we out of place, high school pace taught us to be tough. Everything ends in the end, do it. The friendship blend, but it's still moving. Yeah. Somewhere in the earth playing old music that we never dropped and forgot we was cold doing. I can't tell you a lie. See your family, you know I feel happy inside. All these memories collect, be the happiest times. I hope that we cross paths even after this life. Yeah, one thing in life I do know, everything is meant for your growth. I just wanna see us all getting close to the days we can shout to success with a toast. Yeah, sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. I'm sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. Sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. I'm sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world.
Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And they know.
Schaefer, that's a hit.
For real. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk. Show it if you wanna learn some. Sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worrisome like a gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bum bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on the TV screen. It's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut these hating hoes off like a fresh fade. Get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari Reed. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk. Show it if you wanna learn some. Sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. If I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk. Show it if you wanna learn some. Sit back and listen to me flow.
What's up, everybody? Everybody, it's 7:01, which is 7 o'clock, and you know what time it is. It's Real Raw Let's Talk Hour, okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. It's your girl, T Pretty Smile, in the building. Y'all, tonight we got some special guests, and I'm so excited and I'm so ready for y'all to tune in and, dive in like Trey Songs. So, y'all, tonight, let's get started. So first of all, for my new people who just tuning in to the Real Raw Let's Talk show, I'm your host T Pretty Smile. A little bit about me. Let's see. I'm a mom. I'm a single mom at that. An entrepreneur. I'm a cancer survivor. A motivational speaker. A host, content creator. I'm your favorite red carpet host, interviewer. The list can go on. Okay. And also, let me tell you a little bit about Real Raw Let's Talk and why you in the building. Okay. Real Raw Let's Talk is a podcast where we talk about unfiltered conversations, okay? And it's them rare conversations. You ever been in a conversation or you overhear one and you be like, I know they is not talking about that. That is Real Raw Let's Talk. That is us. We're going to bring them real conversations to the forefront. And not only that, we share stories and we share some insightful details and conversations. Not only that, we share resources, okay? That's what we all about. So not only do we give y'all some good perspectives, and we also bring you some resources. Who don't need them, right? So let's start on with these church announcements. All right. So these announcements for this week, y'all, before we get into everything tonight. First of all, I want to give it up to yourself. You made it to Thursday, okay? Give it up for yourself because tomorrow is Friday, which is one day closer to the weekend. And it's Father's Day weekend, y'all. Give it up for your daddy-os. Give it up for the daddies and the granddaddies and the uncles. Give it up for them, y'all. All right, it's one day closer to Friday, which is one day closer to what? You don't give a damn. It ain't lying. Ain't lying. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know when the weekend get here. Y'all know y'all don't give a damn about shit. Y'all don't. So stop lying if you do, okay? So y'all give it up for the daddies for the weekend. And thank y'all for tuning in on the YouTube. Like, and if you ain't on YouTube, go ahead, head over there and hit that subscribe button. Ding. Okay? Hit that button right there. Now, also, let's jump into our second church announcement for To Be Tuesday. I don't know about y'all, but I hope that y'all been tapping in. Got all kinds of twists up there. Hope y'all been tapping in to the To Be Tuesday movie reviews that I've been giving y'all. Because your girl been hooking you up with some fire movies, okay? Speaking of, we got some fire guests that's on the Tubi movies this week, okay? Now, the movie for this week for the Tubi Tuesday movie review was Perk 30. If you ain't seen it, tap in, baby, because the Perkins family, they's a damn mess. They's a mess. If you like, let's see, shooting and crime, the mafia, the whole deal, okay? This the movie for you. So go ahead and check out Perk 30. Starting one of the leaders, starting the movie is Tyrone Betters. Shout out to my boy. You know what? Since it's Father's Day weekend, your girl may go ahead and give y'all another movie this week. I'm gonna hook y'all up with another Tubi review this week. So y'all stay tuned for that on this weekend and check out some with your daddy-os this weekend. All right. So another announcement. What we got? Like I said, this weekend is a Father's Day weekend. So y'all, fathers play a special role in our lives, and both of my fathers are gone. I had a stepfather and a biological father who I was blessed to have both in my life. It's like winning the lottery. It's one in a million to have two. So for those who have one, cherish them. Good fathers are good to come by. Okay, hard to come by. So definitely, if you have a father in your life, I tell you to cherish them. Don't take them for granted. You only get one. Okay. So which brings me to who we having on the show tonight. Okay. Tonight, tonight on the show we got Corey Espie. Okay. And you'll know him from a lot of movies on Tubi, Peacock, okay, everywhere, okay. If you don't know Corey, you don't know what you're doing in your world. What you doing in your world? You don't know Corey Espie, okay? You just messing up. You need to be getting into movies. Get into your movies. If you don't know Corey, get into your movie, okay? Now we also got JerMarcus Hartsfield in the building. And for my ladies that don't know JerMarcus, I'ma just say this: if you watch Dick Trip, and you know that man that was giving old girl a hard time, it made you want to come across that table. That's who JerMarcus Hartsfield is. Okay, we're gonna talk with both of these fathers today, y'all, and I'm so excited to have them on the show. We definitely gonna talk about fatherhood, and we're gonna dive in a little bit more with them tonight. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and while we take this commercial break, you can go on over to YouTube and go and subscribe. Right, go on and do that. Grab your snacks. grab your drinks, and get ready because we about to dive in like Trey Songz. We'll be right back.
Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. I had to shed tears on this one. Best believe I'ma paint the city red behind this one. Real nigga, why you pull the trigger on this one? A moment of silence for the dead, we lost a real one. Yeah, smoke up in the city like a vapor. Holding up on me, I may call me her maker. Big bro, taught me 35 ways to get some paper. And it's middle finger to you motherfucking haters. OG status, since he was a young nigga, say. Real in that field since he was a young nigga, say. Been on go since he was a young nigga. Did them 17 years and he stayed solid like a real nigga. Loyalty, what he stood on. Started fucking with this roach ass sad alley bitch. When he came home, blindsided cause it was his baby mama. Shiesty hoe, can't trust these hoes. Say these hoes will get you killed, bro. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Standing on this whole head like I'm standing on business. Got a 30 round drum and I'ma shoot it till it's empty. Since you been gone, I've been feeling kinda empty. I'm just grieving right now, but I'm not looking for no sympathy. Life gon' keep going, you hoes ain't stopping up, you understand? I'm a rapper, but I'm still a gorilla, yeah, you understand? Lady life been feeling kinda creepy. Big bro got so much street credit, get you gone for the freebie. Dirty feet, friendly pussy, slut bucket, bitch, we call it red flag. Big bro, you should've known better the way you rock that red flag. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen them people put you out in that body bag. Damn, my nigga, I'm talking about a body bag. Fuck me up, I viewed your body. That shit made me gag. You was covered from your head to your ankles. First thing I seen was a motherfucking toe tag. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. From the east side, to the north side, all the way to the motherfucking cliff side, bitch. Oh Lord, thank you for this day. Amen. I beat the odds, even when society said I wasn't gonna make it. Overcome them, all them distractions, I had to shake them. One man band, no inheritance, I got it off the land. This is that gas. I'm a different type of strand. This that type of smoke make you tap into your pineal glands. This that type of smoke that can get rid of many mans. This that type of smoke that you can't handle. I put belt the ass, light a nigga ass up like a candle. Secret animosity, they shoot shots but they can't aim. Young niggas dying every day behind fame. Fuck nigga took my brother out the game. I swung on these niggas' neck like $100,000 chain. Fuck nigga.
Thank y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you grabbed your snacks, okay? Because, like I said, we got two phenomenal men in the building. Turbo is going to be with us as well shortly. And we also got Kenneth Skrill, as you may know, who will also be in the building tonight as well. Y'all, so like I said, this month is Father's Day. So just like we did for Mother's Day, I definitely want to tap in with the daddies for this month. And I got two great daddies and great actors that we're gonna tap in tonight. I want to welcome in Corey Espie and JerMarcus Hartsfield. Let's bring them
Hey,
in.
what's
What's
going
going
on?
on?
What's happening? What's
What's
up
going
with
on,
you?
y'all? How are y'all doing?
Oh man, I'm black. You know what I mean? That's exactly
Yeah,
why.
that's it.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Y'all, these are two great, wonderful actors. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You looking like a pixel
Can
picture right
everybody
now.
hear me?
There you
Yeah?
go.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, y'all. We got two great actors in the building, and I just want to say, like, y'all bring y'all characters to life. Okay, y'all really do, to the point where, I really had to brace myself. I told you Marcus this a while back. I was like, look, before I could even ask you about being on the show, I had to get my mind right, because I was just like, all I saw him was who he was portrayed in Thick Trip. So I had to get my mind right that
Yeah.
he wasn't really that person. And Corey, the same with you, over and over in your films. It was like, and I've heard before people be like, he's just a teddy bear. And I'm like, no, something ain't right with him. Something ain't right with him. And even my mom had watched The Creep, and I had been telling my mom after I did To Be Tuesday, I was like, Mom, you gotta watch this film. You gotta watch this film. And my mom
What's
finally
up?
watched it, and she was telling her you was coming on the show, and she was just like, "Oh, baby, I don't know, baby. So I don't know how you do it. I don't see how you." I said he ain't really like that. That's just his character.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So I just want to let you know you both bring fire to the, and I just appreciate y'all for what y'all give and just y'all dedication to the art world. I really do.
Well,
Thank you
thank
so
you, man.
much.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate you for having us on here,
For real.
because we're at a place right now where the outlet is happening, and we're finding spaces to now talk. And now you are seeing more men talk. And we had this because and Duca knows this, man. Every time me and him would get in the debate, he used to just ride over my house if I said something he didn't like. He just pull up
Yeah.
like I'm on my way. But but
Yeah.
but he would have conversations, man, and it's crazy that you talk about this thing, and even what we're talking, because a couple of years ago, I lost a blood brother of mine to suicide. And so now I've been working on this thing called
Oh
checking in before
wow.
you check out, right? For men, because we don't really have that safe space that the world pretends we have. It's kind of a thing where the vulnerability of it gets thrown back in our face when people become mad. So as men now, we are finding our space and to unite with one another and have those conversations to find an outlet before we flip out on something, because it's tough. It's tough.
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
Nah,
And
and
it,
I'm glad men are getting in that space where they able to have these conversations. And to be honest, to be fair, for a long time, women haven't given y'all that space to be comfortable, to have those conversations. Women, we got to take that accountability. Women haven't given y'all that space to have those conversations or to even be that vulnerable. So I'm glad that the change is happening to where it's not seen that men, it's not normal for men to cry. Men shouldn't cry. I'm glad that it's changing and men are finding that space, that safe space to
yeah,
have conversations, to
yeah,
talk, to go to
yeah.
counseling, to get mental help.
Because when you talk about the order of the world, it will be restored when men get back in their rightful place. Because I always say this right here: masculinity is to be protected, I mean, be respected, and femininity is to be protected. And once we get men back in our leadership position, then it's going to allow women to not be in survival mode, but be in the trust role where they can nurture and fall and add to what we're bringing out here and putting ourselves back in position for the nucleus of the family, right? Because that's where we're losing that family structure in there. You know what I mean? Because now, you are looking at a world that is trying to put a system where they're putting women in men positions and now putting that and saying this is the new nucleus of the family, and it's destroying our kids' mind.
Yep. Yep.
We
I'm
back.
loving it.
We got to get back. We got to get back. We got to get
You
back
gotta
because
take it
listen,
back.
I ain't knocking men wearing their purses, but I'm just saying, do your thing. But man, mercies, what they call them. They call them mercies. I'm just saying, it's
Mercies.
yeah, it's hard to leave the house when you trying to taking longer than your wife to get ready, your girl to get ready. God, look, because I say that because and listen, to each his own. But they just promoted a video of a couple that's together, and the dude is like really really feminine. That's his thing. But she's saying, I chose him because of femininity, so he can understand me. See, I'm
I
more
saw that on
feminine.
your
You saw
page.
that, right? Right,
I
and
saw
that's the
that.
narrative they want to push, that a more feminine man could understand women better. And it's like, no, we can't do that. That's why masculinity has to get ourselves together. That's why we got to heal. Men have to go through, we have to get the trauma that we have, go through therapy, go through sessions, open up, use our words, and heal so we can be better leaders. We can be better, we can build better infrastructures for what we need. So they'll stop trying to push the femininity on the men that are supposed to be in position and
For
saying,
sure.
that's
Hey,
why.
you right.
You know,
You speaking some real ish. You speaking some real ish.
it's just,
Yeah,
these are
for
the
JerMarcus
real.
gone. You like you want to say something?
I'm listening
no,
to
because
my
he know
dog cook.
we have these talks. We have these
Yeah,
talks.
for sure.
We
We
have
had
these
these
talks.
talk.
We hadn't had it in a long
Yeah,
time. But
yeah.
there used to be our thing. We would make a post and then we would go back and forth and we would just start sitting on and trying to get to the root of why we both feel the way that we feel about those situations. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
most
right.
time we would disagree, but we would go to the root of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like the brothers that I do talk to. We can disagree and then not get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Always,
And
always,
that's
always.
another line that women don't understand. See, men understand this. It's about respect first with us. Because when you're around another man, you can be like this. As long as a man respects another man, we understand that there are certain words and things that we can say that cross that line that make our conversation go from verbal to physical. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
our women don't understand that. They will cross
What?
that line,
Mm.
and then the first thing when a man tries to break back from that, they'll call you sassy, soft, those things to provoke it, right? But me punching you don't change anything that helps move forward. But me catching the case or people calling me an abusive man, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
But
right,
men
right.
understand it. That's why a lot of times, like let's just say me and JerMarcus didn't know each other, and T, you and I was in a relationship, right? I'm gonna use this as an example. Say we're in a relationship. You're walking through, you bump into JerMarcus, and he go, "Dang, B, watch out!" Right? And a lot of where
Right.
we are now, women have to respond to that. But if you got a man, understand this. You don't always have to respond to that because your mouth can put us in a situation that a man that doesn't care that'll take us somewhere else. Because when you call me, call the police, call me. When I come up, a lot of times when things happen, me and that man can have a conversation. And I can say, listen, man, that's my woman. Listen, my apologies, man. She's bumped in. I'm having a bad day. I'll let. But if you in the back chirping, oh, yeah, you ain't saying that to my man up here. You ain't saying to my man up here. And he goes, be shut up. Now I have to respond. The emotional thing that you just did causes the logic to move out the way. And I got to respond. Me and this man now engaged
Yep.
in physical act. All because you had to say
Yep.
something when I came. Just let us be. And that's what I mean
Yeah,
by us getting
Yeah.
just not telling people to shut up. It's just saying that people are dying by this. People are
yeah.
just
Yeah.
killing by this, right? But without
Yep.
always even with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather talk a situation out before I fight a situation out. And
Facts.
that was one of the
Fact.
things
That's being adult though.
yeah. But a lot of times, but
That's
see,
being an adult.
because we are designed to protect y'all, sometimes we will lose the logic in our situation to become emotional to make sure that you don't get hurt. That's why.
Good,
That's why
good, man.
it's even watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna take you somewhere. Even when it comes to being in the military, having women on the front line is very dangerous because everything is always done by strategy. But you ever seen when they kidnap men and put them over there, you don't really hear them talk about it because they'll kill them and it goes on. But when they kidnap our women, we have to do it because there's always a political blowback. And that's why we abandon the plan to go over there and save our women. Because what they'll do to get our attention? What do? They put our women on camera and do things to them in a very derogatory way to get our
But
attention.
even then, I mean, that's something I can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and
That's a great point, bro. But even before you can even go that far, like say we on the battlefield and a woman goes down. natural instinct of a real man is to go back out there and get that woman.
It is.
And now two people down. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not saying women can't do that job, but it's kind of that situation.
Yeah.
Like it's just natural for men, real men, to protect women. It's just natural, man. Like you said, bro. I ain't made it to that talk before I walk stage. You disrespect mine is game time, but um,
Yeah.
boy,
No,
you
no,
you
it is.
cooking, boy, you cooking, boy.
It is. And see, and I only bring this up to you. I only bring
I
this up.
think sometimes ego though for men play a factor. And I
Yes,
think sometimes that be the problem. I think that be what escalate things is
that's
the ego.
because we're
Is the
competitive and
ego
we're
gets to the
conquerors.
feelings.
Yeah, no, because we're competitive and we're conquerors. Men like to conquer. Everything that men touch, we want to conquer and we compete for it. We understand that there's a competitive nature. But logic shall rule. A man who's in control of his emotions be with logic. Because there's nothing that been won from war to an NBA championship that wasn't done with logic. They even tell you when you're fighting,
Okay.
don't fight emotionally because you'll be all over the place. Have a strategy. See there,
Yeah.
get there. That's why you target practice. And I only say that because there are a lot of women that feel that women are unprotected, right? I know y'all have heard this before, but can I share this with you real quick?
Come on
If
with it.
women really felt, all right, let's do this. Do you consider women and men physically equal to each other? Physically.
Physically equal? No.
If men decided right now that we wanted women to be our slaves, is there anything physically that women do that can stop that? If men said, all men come together and say, you know what, we're going to just take over women and they're going to do as we say, could women physically opposably stop that from us doing that?
I mean, we could shoot y'all all day long, but
You
no.
we got military too. We got all. But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the reason that women are protected more than they think is because there are still good men who are keeping the barbaric man from doing that. Because you have people, men that are just killing women, that are sexually assault women, all that. We hurt that. When you go to prison, they hurt them dudes. You know what I'm saying? They did a social experiment where a woman was hitting a man. I can't stand you. I can't stand you. And people was like, yo, and they were just kind of looking. They went to another street, took them same people. When that man act like he was gonna hit her, everybody stood up. Hey, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times in situations, there's women that say, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Because I always said this. I never wanted to be in a relationship with a woman I didn't have some type of authority over. Because when it comes down to me protecting you, when I first meet you, T, and before we go on our first date, me and you sitting right there in a restaurant eating, you know what happens? Say a guy comes in and slap you. That whole restaurant turns around and look at me to see what I'm gonna do. If a
Yeah.
woman walks in and slap me, the first thing people say is who he got caught cheating. You see what I'm saying? There's a different responsibility because if somebody walked
Yeah.
in and started shooting, one of the first things I'm supposed to do is protect you. So initially, I'm supposed to put my life on the line for a woman I don't even know her family history yet. But that is what is expected of me. So when I say, hey, don't go to Deep Ellum tonight, it ain't because I don't want you to go have fun with your girl. Man, the last 2 nights they've been shooting down there. I can't. I'm not taking that chance. Stay at the
Right.
house or go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So the authority ain't to
Yeah.
rule your life. Sometimes it's to save your life because I'm expected to give
Yep.
mine in order for you to keep yours. Amen.
That's facts. And I think, JerMarcus, what you saying?
Back.
Oh, he said he'll be back. You speaking facts, and I think it's even harder when you have kids that don't understand that. And I was one of them. When I was younger, I wanted to do my own thing.
Right.
I left the house at 18. You think you grown, start smelling yourself. And you like, look, your parents just trying to guide you and tell you, and that's why I urge a lot of kids when your parents telling you, oh, don't do this and don't go there at night. You always think, oh, they just old, they just, overprotective. Nah, man. Y'all
Mhm.
don't understand the world that we've seen, the things that's out there, the troubles. They don't understand that. And they think parents be overprotective. No, no, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
We had a comment from JFL, which is my boy Freddie. Freddie said the problem is most men want their women to be the leader because they don't know how to lead. Okay, come on, Freddie. I'm loving the comment. Corey, what you think about that?
Uh, I know I agree with him. That's why I said men have to get in position. That's why other men. The other thing happened because again, the order of operation is God. Man leaves house. Man loves wife. The wife nurtures and adds to the house. Because the thing, when you give a woman, she turns it into something else, right? So a man that's properly led puts a woman in a house. He makes it a home. You know what I'm saying? He gives her the seed. She gives him children, right? So there's an abundance of favor that she gives back when the man is properly doing what he's supposed to do, and the man that's properly leading that it is led right. Then he makes the infrastructure of his house, and it ain't always about the money, but the money is a matter. But the infrastructure that he
Facts.
creates puts his family in position to now continue the legacy. Because you'll see it a lot of times when you see kids that come up after the father and they take over the business and stuff like that. That's creating the infrastructure of creating a legacy that continues to go on, right? And then when
Mhm.
everybody's in their
Mhm.
position, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's never been a house built from the roof down. It started with a foundation. It
Facts.
started with a foundation. And when people talk about certain things like that, you have to still set the foundation first. You have people who do it. Everybody, like Coach Belichick said, everybody has a job. And as men, we are set as the head. We are set after the infrastructure. We are set as say it again.
They
Pause out.
fixing their stuff from behind.
Yeah. We are set in that position. So when you find a man who's comfortable,
And it's not us. We're good.
when you find a man that's comfortable with a woman in a lead position over him, that is a man who doesn't understand who he is. He's
He not
lost.
a man, first of all.
He's not a man. He's not a man. He's a male. He's just downloaded. He just downplayed his potential. And sometimes that comes from not having people to teach you. But sometimes that just comes from self sabotage. Some people just don't want it. Some men are just not
Yeah.
ambitious. They ever want it. They would rather
Yeah.
come over to T house, live off you, get them income taxes from you, do all that stuff, and portray
Yeah.
that you
They
guys
out
are
there.
doing it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I remember being with my kid's mom, man, and it was one time, man. I was trying to figure some things out and trying to get some things together, and I always appreciate her because the one thing she never did was emasculate me. We was out to eat one time, and I didn't have it, and I just remember her sliding her card under the table and giving it to her and letting me be seen paying for it, right? And that done a
That's a
lot
real
for my
one.
ego, right? Man, I'm talking
Yep.
about because people, and then a lot of people didn't know this because at the time, man, I lost my car, I lost my house and everything, so we ended up living together and raising our kids on the roof. But people didn't know, man. When I was going out there training and stuff, man, I was getting up 5 in the morning, sometimes not coming back home to 10. Right, and then everything that I would make, I would give to her. I just take me $20 so I could get me some McDonald's. I had to make chicken. I would always eat the McChicken for the dollar. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? I could survive off that, right? But it was always with the ambition to be the leader in my house. And where I fell short financially, I made sure I stood up in my house as a leader amongst my kids to see how hard I hustled. They didn't see me laying up at the house.
Mhm.
They see me chilling. I still made it to all the games, everything like that. But they saw me get up every morning and go after it. I didn't have a 9 to 5, but I was hustling and I would go get the
You
money.
was right. Yeah.
I still made practice. I made school visit, all that. And where she and what I kept doing was make sure she never had to take off for anything because I could flex my schedule around. So we going to doctor's appointments, we going near school meetings. I'm there. I'm there.
You still showed up.
Mm,
And see, that's where a lot of the fathers that are absent lack, or the ones that are there but not doing.
yeah,
uh the ones that can't do financially, or just want to live, or the moochers as I call them. You know what I'm saying? They don't take that quality. Okay, well, she's leading right now, or she's handling the finances.
right.
Let me see what other areas I need to take care of, because at the end of the day, you still got a home to take care of. You still got a home with other things to take care of. So therefore, there's other things that you got to take care of. That come with kids. That comes with time management. That comes with other thing else. But she a real one for sliding you that card though.
Yeah, yeah,
Now I'm gonna be piggyback on that. I had a situation where I was with my dad. My father is my daughter's father,
yeah.
and now it was to a point where he just flat out wasn't trying, right? Wasn't trying, wasn't doing. So me being who I used to be was petty T, I'm going it's my money, here you go. I'm
Right.
heading it to you. I'm not finna slide you no car like you just paid for it. I'm not finna do none of that. Because you ain't trying, I got this. Because now what you said, I'm the lead.
Yeah, yeah,
When I'm acting as the lead, I'm gonna be the lead.
yeah. Because we
When I
roommates.
don't see you trying and you not doing, You ain't going to no doctor's appointment. I'm still doing everything that you should have done. I'm
Yeah,
playing mama and daddy.
yeah,
And that's the problem nowadays. We got people that's playing mommy and daddy.
yeah, yeah.
So I
It is.
definitely, yeah.
It is. And that's the thing where it has made the dysfunction happen because a lot of dudes are there. And I'll say this too. Here's another thing that kind of gets skips over. You know what I'm saying? So I have 7 children, and all six of them are grown. So I have my youngest daughter, right? But people have situations like this. Like I haven't seen my youngest daughter in 3 years. I allowed her mom to move to another state and stuff, and she's just made that thing hard. And what happens in a lot of times, because I know she's probably out saying some deadbeat stuff, right? But a lot of times dudes get tired of fighting. Just to, like when I look at a lot of our conversations, it's why am I fighting with you to get my child? You know what I'm saying? Like we had recently talked and we were supposed to make an exchange and stuff like that. But then she abandoned that plan, and then I found out my child is getting ready to go to a state right next to me. And I just thought that was the ultimate slap in the face when we and a lot of times that thing gets looked over because nobody tells that particular woman, hey, you are in this situation. It ain't about you, it's about the child. And if you have somebody, if you
Right.
have a man there that's doing, and the thing is, me and my daughter, but every time my daughter breaks one of her phones, she's 9, breaks one of her phone, that's when everything goes. I have hell getting a hold to her. You know what I'm saying? It just comes to a point that sometimes men get tired of fighting that loophole to try to get there, man. It becomes a headache. It becomes draining because it seems like you move the goalpost of whatever arrangements we were working on. And people be talking about court. I don't think it takes court to figure out how to handle a co-parenting situation because I got healthy ones up here on the other side. So I know it's doable. So what I'm not going to do is sit here and fall into this thing with you.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? When I know because me and my older kids, mom, totally. Even when she hated me, same one that slid me that card, even when she hated my guts, the one thing she never did is she never interfered with them kids. Even when something happened and it was time for me to step in, when I was no longer in the household, she would call me, tell me, hang the phone up. When it was time for me to get him,
Mm.
never nothing. When my son needed to move with me because he, had started having problems, yeah, you know what I mean. And so for that, I am so grateful for her because that was the true definition of it being about the kids and not about whatever we are going through. So yeah,
Mm.
those things, that part matters too, and we have to get back to that thing.
I feel you on that, Corey. I definitely feel you on that. Y'all, we're gonna come back so we can get JerMarcus on back in the conversation as well. And we're gonna tap back in more with Corey and on fatherhood. So y'all, we're gonna take a brief commercial break and y'all tune back in. Go refill your snacks and your cups. Catch up back with Real Raw. Let's talk.
Still searching, meaning in this life while this world turning. Yeah, if I'm alright, I don't care about a like. I know the bigger picture got a bigger purpose. Yeah, yeah, you know I'm stacking this money. But somehow still lost in my 20s. Funny we lost hope when COVID taught us to cope. Who would have thought that the world was alone hurting? Yeah, looking at my little brother. Depression is the quickest way to cause murder. Yeah, in grade school other people murmur, but he's still alive. I call him the overcomer. Some days I think, do God see us? Life is a balance. Young talented Libra who seeks peace but keeps tough. Who needs G's and Jesus who turns east and prays up. With one girl he lays up. The family on his mind. He can't run. Nah. He can't run, putting things down into action, making a plan, no more telling other people, I ain't showing my hands, got a goal on my mind, I ain't kicking the can, homeboys call like when we kicking again, old friends, new friends, I got life changes, new man, I'm not one to hate on you and we are trying to make it to a conclusion, let it out, yeah, let it out, let it out, yeah. Let it out. Oh, I said let it out. Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to be free. Turn me up. Yeah. I've been sleeping every night with a different plan in my mind. Am I getting any close to that man you designed? I ain't looking for a handout, praying for a sign, but I figure faith could make the stars you align. Them other girls I would playtime, yeah, but with you I can make time. The passion you got like grapevines, I know we'll both grow in age like great wine, yeah. Cause life is a poetry book. All these wrong turns, you don't wanna go look. And this pain that I felt before is no more. Everything getting better when you know you enough, yeah. Can't stress a thing I don't know. And I pray for friends I've outgrown. Most things nowadays are bluff, but I'm trying to know that God who was burning a bush. Let it run, G. Bring the bongos in. Yeah. So soulful. Yeah. I write this last chapter for you and us. 7 years, bro, man, what a rush. Crazy how, even when we out of place, high school pace taught us to be tough. Everything ends in the end, do it. The friendship blend, but it's still moving. Yeah, somewhere in the earth playing old music that we never dropped and forgot we was cold doing. I can't tell you a lie. See your family, you know I feel happy inside. All these memories collect, be the happiest times. I hope that we cross paths even after this life. Yeah, one thing in life I do know, everything is meant for your growth. I just wanna see us all getting close to the days we can shout to success with a toast. Yeah, sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. I'm sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. Sitting on top of the world, top of the world, top of the world.
Papa, you crazy for this one.
I told him stop, we run them heaters. Little bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving, go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags, on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah, I swear it's really going up. Top model bitches all tryna fuck. Them basic hoes, so you know I'm gon' duck. She ain't extravagant, she ain't getting fucked, no sir. Let's link up in the mansion. Bring some homies, got some friends that brought them bands in. Caught lacking, I ain't tryna chance it. I ain't Nick, but I'm walking with the cannon, yeah. Shorty bad, I'm tryna splurge. Send her ass to the doctor, fix her curves. I got your back, yeah, girl, that's my word. Once I have my way, girl, you can swerve. I tell you stop, we run them heaters. Little bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving, go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags, on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah, real trap nigga skrill. On God, no deal, I'm worth a mill. Big house and it's sitting on the hill. I pay them boxes just like Shaquille, yes sir. Just drop the whole load off. I ain't never had shit, so I show up. Double dollar bitch, yup, that's my road dog. If I ain't got my gun, you getting stolen, yeah. I ain't in the wasting time, what you tryna do? She went to stripping on her clothes and her designer shoes. Grabbed her by her neck and let her see my family juice. Now she tryna take a family cruise. I told her stop, we run them heaters. Little bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving, go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags, on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah.
right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, y'all, we've been getting spicy talking about these young men, and relationships, and we gonna dive more in, talking about parenting as well. Welcome back with JerMarcus in the building.
Thank
Hi,
you
Corey
so much.
Espie. All right, all right.
My
So,
man
y'all,
Cook.
I want to ask y'all, like, with being a black father, okay, how has it impacted y'all with raising y'all children?
Ooh, she went there. Uh, I wouldn't even say it's just being a black father. It's just being a parent. Period. Um, you could definitely gotta fall in love with it. With I fell in love with it. Like that's to the point where that's all I want to do because that's the only thing I haven't like mastered that I wanted to master. It's very complex. I have three different people I have children by.
God
So
dang. No, just
you know,
wait.
yeah, I was just shooting up every club I went in. But anyway,
Ah!
I was Stevie Wonder line. But definitely I feel like if somebody would have set me down and taught me what procreation really was, I don't think I did that. But coming up, all I ever seen was guys with four or five different baby mamas, and it looked cool. It looked real cool coming up, but that was from the outside looking in. But once I got in, and I ain't the perfect
A different
person to
ball game.
to have a child by, but you know, um, I ain't perfect, but I'm present. That's all we can be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But
And
being
That's
a black
real.
father, being a black father, we had a situation last night where I was racially profiled when I was with my children,
Oh
and
wow.
cause he was I knew it was a cop behind me, but he said something about I was speeding, right? And I know I wasn't speeding because I know I was in an area that is predominantly white, but my kids play basketball in that area, and the fear that just came over me of I don't know if this dude a dickhead or not because I know I wasn't speeding, but I can't argue the fact that I wasn't speeding. I don't know what's on his mind. You
Right.
see? So if I was speeding, as you say, I was doing a 15 in a such 15 miles per hour over. You get my license, come back and be like, y'all are free to go. No, no, like I said, you was waiting on a response from. But I, this how God worked though, because I had been preaching to my young men about what Corey said about being emotional versus being logical at all times. Now, I feel like there was a God test for me to show them, take the emotions out and read the room. And we
Mm.
got warning. Now, what if I get emotional? Motherfucker, I wasn't speeding. And, man, what is you doing, fam?
that
I
goes a
don't
Could have
know
whole
went
how
a whole nother way.
it's gonna go a whole nother way, right? So I just,
Yep.
even in that moment, I just looked up at God and be like, I feel you, fam. But that's just the fear, like the fear of just being a black father and raising black men. Like my freshman is 6'1", 200 something. He haven't even hit a growth spurt. So it's
Ooh.
like, God leave me. But the hardest part about being a black father, I'm just gonna keep it real and raw. I got kids by black women that I don't want to go there, but my experience, um, nah, I can't tell my side of the story. I'm gonna Uh, it's just I wish that black mothers and black fathers get along a lot better than we do. I'm gonna say it like that, because it's only the key to that situation
But was that time invested?
with the ones I had children with.
Right. Before you had the children, was time invested to know them, to know? If they were gonna be good mothers, like you know what I mean?
8 years, 10 years, 2 years. That's how long I was with them. We was in relationships. Everybody had children, but we was in relationships trying to build a family. But it didn't go that
Okay.
way. Yeah. So it didn't go that way. And the crazy part is I didn't see this in them until after the breakups. They
Yeah.
were wonderful. They are wonderful mothers. Like nothing from them. Um, but to the children, to the children,
No,
dude,
no. She get it because you know my story with my youngest one. I just shared it with her. And,
okay.
and respect. Cause see, the thing is, we're not trying to bash the women because it ain't a thing of trying to make them look bad because we still chose to sleep with them women and have
Yeah,
children. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? But the
yeah.
thing that has to happen, there still has to be a root dialogue to say, hey, there's a dysfunction happening here. There's a disconnect happening here. There's a miscommunication happening here. We need to get to the root to figure out what the problem is. Because right now, the only person that suffers is the child that we have between us when we can't get it right and we're butting heads.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think all I'm trying to say is black fathers suffer when they are maybe terrible boyfriends or were once terrible husbands, but somehow that translate over to being a bad father.
We also seen it secondary. A lot of mothers don't see us equal to them in parenthood. Because
Right,
most mothers to fathers that are trying to be there would say, my child. But an absent man that's not there, they'll say, our child. I'm gonna say that one more time. Most mothers that have the fathers that are being there would say, my child. But most men that are absent from this, they'll scream, our child. It took both of us making it. But when I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna get her, you're not coming to get my child right now. I'll let you know. That's the actual factual thing that is happening. And again, this is not the point the finger thing. This is just the reality of what men are saying. These are the conversations that the JerMarcuses and the Corys and the Peanuts and the Darrells are having away from screens. We're saying, what is the dysfunction? Where are we going wrong yet?
right,
And then we'll
right,
compare notes with messages and be like, bruh, I'm still having I need to get to my child conversation.
right. We do
But
that a lot.
you keep making it about me. I'm saying, hey, what about my child though? If
What
I'm
about
not
my
putting my child in harm's way, you should have no issue. I shouldn't even have to ask you this.
right? We gotta fight for our child, and that's outlandish to me. I don't believe in fighting. I don't think you should have to fight for your
Shouldn't.
child at
Shouldn't.
all. All right,
Because I
I'm
done,
not.
bro, he no. Because he done told me, man, keep fighting. I done told him, man, I'm done, bro. I'm not, I'm drained. I got no fight left. I ain't
Yeah,
lying. That's what I'm saying. We didn't have these. I'm like, bro, I'm done. Look at this. I'm through.
for sure,
You know what I'm
for sure.
saying? It's just one of those things, T, that is a reality to us men. And I'm gonna show you something else. Piggyback on what DeMarcus just said. He said because I saw at a point that I thought it was cool because I saw dudes having 4 or 5 baby mamas, right? Well, you know who made that cool to us? Women, the majority of the women that were sleeping with the minority of the men. Because when you look at the parameter, 80% of the women are seeking 20% of the men. That's why you'll find more women having same in a per area. It's the same. You have 5 different women having babies by the same one dude. Because women, by and large, are looking for the same small amount of men. They are. They are.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna show you why. I see the look on your face. I see your face. You're right here. You turned up. I'm gonna bring you back down here. I'm gonna show you why.
I,
No, you did this.
I'm like,
Uh,
tell me,
to show you why. Let me ask you a question.
you know,
See, would you prefer a man that's taller than you or shorter than you?
uh
what you say?
oh.
Would you prefer a man that's taller than you or smaller than you?
Taller,
Does he need to be stronger than you or weaker than you?
stronger, baby. You gotta
Does
lift
he
me
need to have?
up.
Does he need to be masculine or feminine?
What?
Does he need to be masculine or feminine?
Masculine. I couldn't hear you because it's chopped up. Masculine.
Does he need to make more money than you or less money than you? On your choice.
As long as you bring it to the table, that don't matter to me. As long as
Does
you bring it to the
does
table, we
does
got to
he
meet somewhere.
possess a sort of aura to him that's swagged up, or could you date Steve Urkel? Because, and I say that
No, I
because
can't date Steve.
most women associate bad boys with protection. That's why they get with the drug dealers. That's why they get with the athletes. That's why they get with the jocks.
You
So
speaking facts?
so what I'm saying is, in the school, in the neighborhood, in the U.S., that's a small percentage of men. That's a very small percentage. So the ten women are going into this area, seeing 15 dudes, but only looking at the two right there, JerMarcus and Corey, because they're bigger than other dudes. Look at
Mm.
the way they stand. Look at the way they talk. When they speak, the men stop and listen.
Nah, for
Remember,
sure.
masculinity is to be respected, femininity is to be protected. So women were going to have babies by those same small amount of guys. So us coming up, we're seeing that. I had a
Nah.
homegirl tell me one time, we ain't trying to get with the dudes y'all beat up. I'm gonna give you some. I'm throwing it out. You wanted this tea. I'm coming. Guns are blazing.
Come
Everything
on,
coming
give
out.
it
Glad
to me.
I'm gonna give you two guys. All things being equal, right? Two guys. Both of them are 6'3".
All right.
Both of them are nice guys. Both of them are emotionally intelligent. Both of them have been through therapy. Both of them have good hearts. Both of them talk to you right. They don't disrespect you. But here's the only kicker: one makes 500,000 a year, other makes 50,000 a year. Which one are you gonna give a chance to be the leader in your house? Both are equal in
I'm
everything
gonna
else.
shoot either one.
No. Which one? You have to make a choice. 500,000 a year, 50,000 a year. Which one you going with?
Corey,
Don't
why
worry.
you
I'll
gotta do
wait.
that?
We got to 9 o'clock, so I'll wait. Don't worry. Don't worry. You need time. You don't ask for this.
Cause I'm not no, cause I
You
ain't
don't
no
ask for
gold
this.
digger, so I can get with a 50,000 person. I can get
No.
with a
You
fifty
do you
thousand.
know what hypergamy is?
What?
Hypergamy is a biological design that is made in women to want the man who's bigger, faster, stronger, smarter. So it don't make you a gold digger. The gold digger comes when you only see the man for the money, and you hop from the next man to see the money. Because understand this: our status are two different things. You graduate high school at 18, you can find a millionaire and be set for life. When I graduate, I have to become the millionaire. If we go to the yacht, your pretty face would get you on it for free or get you paid to be on that yacht. If me and JerMarcus go, we still have to have some status. So women are born with a status, they have to preserve, and men are born to earn their status. Because you only see 10% of the men you come around because of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Because what makes you attracted to me, T, is not the same thing I want in you. You want me to be ambitious, masculine, leader. You know what I'm saying? Those things. Those same things in a woman make her masculine. We don't want that. Me and JerMarcus ain't never been sitting up talking about, hey man, T got all the degrees, bro. I got hard on that. She just made me turn on. You see how them degrees? We don't sit up and have that talk. You know what we say we seen her? Man, T's beautiful, she's reasonable, she's a deductive problem solver, she adds, she's equipped to this. That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
The feminine traits about her that makes her soft. Because if I'm gonna do that, I get a relationship with JerMarcus, because at least when he say something crazy, I can punch him. We can hit each other behind.
It's
That's
that
all we saying.
masculinity. I see you.
Right. That's all we saying. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it ain't nothing wrong with going for 500,000. We're just saying that when it comes to it, women prefer the better quality of man, and those are short. Because you realize the percentage of men that are over 6 foot. The average man is 5'9", 5'10", 5'9". Excuse me. The average man is like 5'8", 5'9". Right? What are
Mm-hmm.
women preferences? A man above 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That means that's short. All right, women are saying now, I'd rather a man who's making 80 to 100,000 and up. The average man's salary is 57,000 a year. Oh, it just got smaller. You know what I'm saying? I need him
Nah,
to have
yeah.
good credit. That makes it smaller. I need him to
Hell
be,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I need him to be, and here's what women always talk. Watch this, I'm finna hear one another. We always say, I don't want a man who's been around a women. Bunch of women, you're a lie, because you want a man who's experienced. Because if you get a man in that bedroom that don't know what he's doing, you go dog him and talk about it. It's the experience that makes us equipped to be able to do what we do. See, you like the man that's accessible. You don't want him screwing everybody, but you like the fact that he's accessible to other women in a sense, because that shows that women are choosing him. He's qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, the dating market ain't about who you want. It's about who wants you. It's about who you want. You have to qualify
Yeah.
for the person you want. If T says I want this, and this, and me and JerMarcus are competing for you, we have to qualify for your list, your preference. But if I'm a man who's above 6 feet, making six figures, and I got these qualities, you got to compete and show me what makes you different from the rest of the women. Because everything that you're telling me to do, I can go get a maid, or I can get a maid or a prostitute to handle all that. So you have to give me something different that separates that thing. Because remember, when people
Yep.
go to divorce court, they don't go to divorce court and ask for their love back. They want assets. Nobody will say, I'm divorcing Corey and I want all my love back from the last 10 years. No, you don't. you want a third of that business that didn't happen in these last 10 years. And a couple of the ones I had before you. Let's not pretend on that. So it's not about,
Corey speaking real.
yeah, because here's the thing. It doesn't make you bad because you want these purpose of things. Because watch this. Watch this. When I talk about qualify, because women say, I won't compete, you'll compete for the men you want. Because here's the thing. If a person has bad credit, it doesn't make them bad character, right? It's actually be cool because there's a lot of people
Right.
with bad credit who's working jobs and maintaining life. But it doesn't qualify you for the house you want or the car you want, right? It just says you haven't made the right decision to
Right.
qualify for this, right? So that doesn't mean because a person doesn't qualify for the person they want that they're a bad person. You just ain't qualified for this. Because here's the thing that you have to look at in this situation is that if you right now had an 800 score and you had accessible in your bank a little over 500,000, right? Right? You have done all the work in the world, T, to get it all right there where
Mm-hmm.
you need to be. And I say, hey, T, I got a house for $30,000 you can get right now. What would you say to buy and live in?
I can't hear you, Corey.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you
All right.
before.
All right. So if you have access of a little over 500,000 in your bank account that you have access to, right, and your credit score is 800, and you've done all these things, you've done the work to qualify, and I tell you, I got a $30,000 house I can put you in right now. What would you look at me and say?
Okay.
You would take the $30,000 house when you know you can afford to get a 1.2 house because you worked to get there.
Well,
You've qualified. You've qualified to do that. I'm saying people in position that have worked to get their equity of life up there, why would they make the decision to come back down and do things when they could get a person that understands and receives on their level? Because I put it like this, let me show you why. If I told you that this car was $800,000, would you put it in your garage or leave it in the driveway?
put in the garage.
Why would you put it in the garage? Because what? You don't
You
want
don't want
people
to
to
get
have.
stole.
You don't want people, but you don't want to have people to have access to something you've invested so much into. And that's what happens when
Right.
we're talking about a lot of times in these relationships, right? When women are talking about, I deserve, I deserve, I deserve. Decisions have consequences that come with things. So if you're a woman that's one out of had 4 or 5 kids and stuff like this, and you kind of live, and you talking about getting a 1% man, why would he give the 1%? Why would the 1% man go to you when I could go and choose a woman who's the same age as you without all those kids? Who doesn't have kids, or maybe one kid, who doesn't come with all that baggage. I've made the right decisions in life to get my life where it be. Why would I choose a woman that came with more baggage to now put in position? Because when I get with you, T, I'm giving you my
But who's
resources.
to say? But then, Corey, but wait a minute, though.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But wait, who's to say? Who's to say that that is not a good person still? Who's to say that that's necessarily baggage?
Okay. You remember what I said a while ago? Because I have bad credit doesn't make me a bad person character wise. It just means I didn't make the right decisions to have good credit. Because it doesn't make you a bad person. It's just saying when you want the 1% man, why why would the 1% man choose you when he could go find a woman just like you without the baggage? Why would he? Because watch this. Watch this. If your son was coming up right now, you don't raise your son, he done went through college, he done got a couple degrees, he done got his lifespan to where he wanted to be. And he come in and said, Mom, I met this girl who got 5 kids and I'm finna move in with her. You would
I
lose
knew
your
where you was
mind.
going.
You would lose your mind. But women will argue
You
this,
damn
but
skippy.
you still would want your son with the woman you're saying you're worthy of being. And again, it doesn't make her bad. It's just she's made some decisions to have kids, a bunch of kids from different men out of wedlock and different things. And now your son has put him in. Because watch this, you know the part that happens where people don't talk about. So you know what happens is your son
What's
would
that?
give her, give her and those kids his resource and legacy. And in 2 years, she can decide, I no longer want this. And everything you help your son because you paid for him to go through college. Everything y'all work for, she takes half of it now. Is that fair to him? That's what we're saying. She's not a bad person,
That's
but
not fair.
she
You
don't have
right.
good relationship credit. I'm not a bad person, but I don't have good relationship credit to get with you.
Not relationship credit.
Yeah, I don't have the relationship credit to get with you. I have made some poor decisions in my relationship credit that don't qualify. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Jay.
You making valid points. I love this relationship credit. I
This
gotta
is what
take that one. I like that.
I told you what was coming out. You asked for it. We blazing. Guns are blazing. You asked for this, T. You
You blazing.
you asked for this. I was sitting at the house.
I did.
Go
I
ahead.
can't even get mad. Relationship credit. I'm loving it, Corey. Like, but
Yes.
you speaking facts though, and I think sometimes people don't realize. Like, I didn't, and until you made it clear like that, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we think people that have multiple kids, because honestly, and it wasn't until I had a child that I started look that I when I wanted a relationship that I was even like, okay, my type of picking now is for people who have kids. When I didn't have a child though, oh, people who had kids, I was looking at them like they were sick. I
Right.
was like, oh, no, you
Mm-hmm.
ain't for me. I can't do it. I don't want no more kids. But
Right.
now that I have a child, I don't want nobody who don't have kids.
Right. Right.
So
You
I
see
get
what
what you're saying. I
that's
get what you're
that's
saying.
that's all it because I only bring it up because women think that
I get the relationship
women
credit.
think it's a dig at them when they talk about you don't qualify for these men, these certain men now. And it's not because again, when you look at men who are not ambitious, who still stay with their mama or in a roommate situation, as a woman who got her stuff together, you ain't checking for that dude because there's nothing that he
Right.
can do to uplift where you're at. Because first of all, you stay with your
Yep.
homeboys, or now circumstances do change. Because the last year of my mom before she passed, I was back there with her because my mom was really sick. You know what I'm saying? So context matters. But
Situation.
on average, if you're there living at your mama's house because you can't keep a job, you roommating because you can't afford to pay for your house by yourself. And I'm gonna tell you something. What I allow my wife to walk into is with me because I used to think that because I worked hard, that I was always being the right thing for women who were in situations where we can build up. But what I didn't really
Build up.
understand is, hey, if this woman falls off tomorrow, can this household depend on you? And there were points in my life, no, they couldn't. So what I had to do was get in
Hmm.
position to have my own everything. So that way I could survive alone. That way, when I add somebody, if she falls off, now you know what I can do? I can make sure the house still runs. And men have to
You
get back
still
to that.
support yourself.
Yes. And I didn't really grasp it. I thought my job was to go into every house and help build her up. You know what I'm saying? But what I was finding out when I would mess up, they would go get out my house. And I was like, damn, I'm back in the hotel. Something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what goes on, if you're not going to be, or if something happens, y'all fall out, they can always scream, "Get out my house." So that's why it's more encompassed for men
Yeah.
to be in that position to have your own. Because I'm gonna tell you something, the more arguments change. See, when I didn't have nowhere to go, get out, get out, get out. Throw the bag at the door.
And we
Close the
quick,
door.
and a woman is
I
quick
heard
to
it
throw
locked.
you out.
I heard it locked. Click, click. But you know what happened? When I got my own crib, get out. I'm sick of this. Now go get that bag, run to the door. Oh, so you really gonna leave? Wow. So what you trying to do? Get that other broad at your house? See, now that I had somewhere to go, you thought I could outlet different. That get out hit differently. You get in front of the door. Where you going? Where you going? You just gonna leave? I always say get out, and you always try to say, you just gonna leave now? Yeah, you said get out. I don't want to argue with you. All right, because you probably got somebody going back to your house now, huh? Huh? I know you do. I know you do. But you know what? You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going
I know
nowhere.
you too.
That's what I'm saying. So for men, we got to get back in position because we have to change the structure of how that path going. We have to change the narrative behind it. We got to put ourselves back in to building those in because understand it takes the village to run it, but when you got the men doing what they're supposed to do, man, that village runs real smooth. And again, this is not saying
Mm.
women can't take a position, right? But I'm saying if we're talking about the order of operation, what God had it at, it was God, that man, that woman, the children, the house, etc. So it was order of operation. We just talking about order. That's all we're talking about, order. And men have to get back in that order. I had to get back in that order. That's
Yep.
why my house wasn't running like it was supposed to. I wasn't in order. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Now you speaking facts. Like I can't be with no one who's not dominant.
Right.
You gotta take the role. I can be there. I don't want to be the dominant one. That ain't me. Like you gotta be the one to take the lead. I'm a helper. I'm a helpmate. That's what God made me for. To be a helpmate. To be a helper. I'm not supposed to be in the lead position. Now, granted, I can lead my own life, but when I
Right.
find my partner, no, I'm supposed to be a helpmate.
It
I'm not
is.
supposed to take the lead.
It is.
And that's why I'm only attracted to people who are dominant. I can't like if you ain't coming, like if you ain't coming with it ain't about swag, but it's something about a man having that dominance, having owning his shit. It's something about that. You know what I'm saying? Get it, Corey. You know what I'm talking about?
Baby, listen.
It's something about that. Like
Yeah. Yeah. When a man can
it's
walk in the
something
house and go,
about that, and I
we going left today. All right. After we go left, we're gonna take a right. All right.
look
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And here's the thing:
That's what I'm talking about.
great leader understands how to lead, but also how to uh, put his house in position. Because one thing about it, man, my wife trusts me as a leader. But if I'm confused on something, I don't have a problem with saying, "Hey, what do you think?" And then days when if I have an emotional day, she goes, that ain't what logic gonna do." You see what I'm saying? Like I did enough things as a masculine man and a logical man for her to go, "Oh, I see, and I see how this can run." That when
Hmm.
I have my 20% days, she takes that 80 and push it off in there and say, "Don't forget who you are, King. I got you." Oh,
Mm.
you're
And
right.
that's how it should be.
You're right.
That is exactly how it should be. And I think sometimes when you were speaking on like your old relationship with the baby moms, I think I could definitely reflect on what you're talking about. I think a lot of times we outgrow our old relationships, right? And
Mhm.
those older people. And when I say that, I mean like some people, and I always like to use myself because I don't speak of nobody else, but like for myself, like my daughter's father, I always use him as an example. We outgrow those people. Some people don't like seeing you succeed, and some people we've been with them since our teenage years. They've seen us at our lowest. So when you start to climb and when you start to mature and when you grow up, they still want. Oh, I knew you when you was this. Oh, you don't like that kind of ice cream. You know you only like this shit.
Right.
No, I've grown. You can mature. You can outgrow these people. And when you have people in your life who are you used to the old you, and they don't see you growing, you can't. That's where that miscommunication come.
Yeah.
That's why it can't be focusing on the kids because so many people are so used to seeing you at a certain level and a certain point, and you outgrow them. I think a lot of times that's when it becomes not about the kids no more. People want to see you stuck where they met you.
That's what Mama used to say. Sometimes people go ahead.
No, that's all I'm saying. People want to see where they met you, and that's all they see. Yeah, they know you grow up. They know your age grows up in numbers, but they don't want to see that you've matured and you've outgrown them. And
Yeah,
it's okay to outgrow people. Some
it
people
is.
ain't ready for that though.
I know. Hey, but check this out, y'all. Y'all been enjoying this conversation right now. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Put it right in your face again. Me and T.
It's like loving you. Yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. In the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, and you, yeah. In the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, and you, yeah. Miss Cruz, do your lifetime still look blue? Miss Cruz, I write these words, I speak to uplift moods. Miss Cruz, everything that I said was true. Yeah, I write these words despite the hurt you've been through. Life ain't fair, but it do got beauty. Love a drug drug we all be abusing. Can't lie, how I felt good inside when you gave me that love I needed and felt useless. Yeah, and nowadays the truth is, I know you heartbroken, clueless, and you don't wanna hear them excuses. Every man keep breaking your faith in Cupid.
Loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you,
Even when your heart feel broken, it don't mean love ain't worth it. And even if your heart feel broken, it don't mean love worth closing. And when the doors ain't open, it don't mean your love ain't working. And if the door's still closing, I know somebody else gonna be worth it. Yeah, in the end, be assertive, youthful, beautiful, you the one I was choosing. Despite all the fights you've been through in, we both had a life of confusion. And nowadays the truth is, we say the wrong words with loose lips. I know you heartbroken, but truth is, somebody gon' love everything that you is.
loving you, loving you. I'll be loving you, loving you, said I love you, said I love you, loving you, everybody, yeah. I said I'll always be loving you, said I love, said I love, baby. I'll be, said I'll always be love.
The story goes as we unfold. Life reveals our purest soul.
and sin. I pray to God within. I know it's time to win. I run it like begin. Scooter is the realest. Scooter is the trillest. Get up out your feeling. Need to go get some healing.
Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. I had to shed tears on this one. Best believe I'ma paint the city red behind this one. Real nigga, why you pull a trigger on this one? A moment of silence for the dead, we lost a real one. Yeah, smoke up in the city like a vapor. Hoe run up on me, I may cut me her maker. Big bro, taught me 35 ways to get some paper. And it's middle finger to you motherfucking haters. OG status, since he was a young nigga, say. Real in that field since he was a young nigga, say. Been on go since he was a young nigga. Did them 17 years and he stayed solid like a real nigga. Loyalty, what he stood on. Started fucking with this roach ass sad alley bitch. When he came home, blindsided cause it was his baby mama. Shiesty hoe, can't trust these hoes. Say these hoes will get you killed, bro. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Standing on this whole head like I'm standing on business. Got a 30 round drum and I'ma shoot it till it's empty. Since you been gone, I've been feeling kinda empty. I'm just grieving right now, but I'm not looking for no sympathy. Life gon' keep going, you hoes ain't stopping up, you understand? I'm a rapper, but I'm still a gorilla, yeah, you understand? Lady life been feeling kinda creepy. Big bro got so much street credit, get you gone for the freebie. Dirty feet, friendly pussy, slut bucket, bitch, we call it red flag. Bro, you should've known better the way you rock that red flag. I can't believe my eyes when I seen them people put you out in that body bag. Damn, my nigga, I'm talking about a body bag. Fuck me up, I viewed your body. That shit made me gag. You was covered from your head to your ankles. First thing I seen was a motherfucking toe tag. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you.
The story goes as we unfold. Life reveals our purest soul. What we don't know is how we'll grow, but we must show love. Yes, there's reason.
You put this in.
No, I understand.
I still hear music. I don't know why.
Yo, what up? What up? What up, people? Steve. Oh, you brought me back.
Yo,
Yeah,
we
I
back.
thought.
We back, y'all. Back with another one. Yo, as you know, we've been talking fatherhood, parenting, relationship. We just been having a ball talking, okay? So thank y'all for tuning back in. And we're gonna dive right on back in like who like Trey songs, okay? So back with the infamous Corey and JerMarcus. And JerMarcus, you were speaking on like about how being a father and how that plays a role in raising your child. And Corey, I wanted to hear from you as well. Like, how does being a black man, you know, affect in raising your children?
Gotcha. Oh, you want me to go first? Uh, he freeze up.
Hold on,
Oh
my
well,
screen frozen.
speaking of just being a black father, uh, Jamarcus pointed something out when he talked about the racial profiling. I think that's one of the things in the last decade that we've dealt with is recognizing now that there's a chance, man.
Yeah.
Our young black boys and black girls could not come home due to a simple traffic stop. So that
Yeah,
raised a new awareness because we've always been under the impression that supremacy reigned in the departments, right? But to social media gave us the eye to see it. Like we saw Rodney King, it made an uproar, but we didn't see it for a long time after that. But when social media came around and instantly it showed us all this stuff that was happening, it changed the trajectory of what we had for conversations. Because now I'm telling my boys, hey, listen, when you go out, you get stopped, just put your hands right here on 10 and 2. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, whatever. I'll figure out how we fight the system from that point. I just need you to get home,
For
right?
sure.
I need you to get home.
nah,
Yes,
That's,
yes,
that's
yes.
my
yep,
Lord. Argue, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's and that's the thing now that you look at. And then for me, because once I started getting into showbiz, I started travel. Well, even on my train, I was traveling a lot. So now I had to be a father who was raising my kids on and off the road. You know what I'm saying? But what I was able to do, and what the mothers and I were able to do, is we found a way to do that. I still made games. I still made the games. I still made the trainings. I would get my kids up at 4:30 in the morning, 2 days, 3 days a week, 2 days a week, 2 days a week, and take them to training myself. So a lot of things that they were instilled with, it came from me. I set the pace with that. I remember a conversation earlier I had with the mamas. These boys don't say, let me, everything comes through me. The girls, I will protect and show them how I treat you all. But these boys, it all comes from me. I need to bleed that into them. I need them to understand how I think, how I move. The men I'm going to set around them, they need to see that. This man know one of my sons was dealing with a mental illness. I would call my brothers, yo, talk to him, y'all. Talk to him. Because I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. He get beside himself. But sometimes another voice helps that. So that's why it's good to have brothers around. This brother can tell you. These are things that were happening. These were things that, I remember they was on set filming. My son was an extra in the film, had done some stuff. I got a call from school. I showed up over there and just jacked him up. He was like, bro, what's going on? And afterwards, I saw Duke pull my son to the side, talk to him. Sometimes that other voice can kind of help that. That's what that community thing about. We done got to a place where we don't want nobody saying it to our kids, but that's going to be sometimes the thing that help our kids when they can see the infrastructure that you build around them. And I had some good brothers around me to deal with that, to help with my kids on that. So it really helped that process. So that was the thing that I was able to do with that. And so in that thing to make it happen was now me trying to figure out how do I do this for trying to be on the road, make money, uh, do this because my career is taking off. So I had to try to really figure that thing out and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that thing was tough. It was tough because when things would happen, sometimes I would be in a whole nother city. I would be in a whole other state. And so parenting from a whole other state sometimes is cool, but sometimes the kids understand, I understand that you're at a distance, so they'll kind of keep doing their thing, right? They'll understand that you're at their distance, they'll do their thing, and that like that thing is not a problem. So I had to start doing my parenting thing, being on the road, doing those things. But the thing
Yeah.
was, my village was solid because those women understood what I was trying to put into those kids. So the conversations I would have with them is we need to be on the accord, and I need to still be in position to reach them and touch them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Hmm.
So
So,
as a black father, that was my thing.
That's
Into
another thing.
go ahead.
You
You about to say?
hear me?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. That's
There you
another
go.
thing I wanted to ask. Have y'all had to turn down roles because of like you being a father and like the example that you have and things like that?
I think now,
that thick trip roll, I thought long and hard on that thick trip roll. Uh,
Yeah, you should. You should
I
have.
did.
No, I was just playing.
Um, but honestly, I had rehearsed that role like for 2 months straight, in a totally different way. But the writer Kendra King, like 10 seconds before we start filming, I look over and she's saying, "Give it to her, give it to her," like, and that's what y'all got in the moment. It was literally 10 seconds before we said action that everything I rehearsed went out the window. And that's what y'all got. So don't blame me for that guy.
You played a great role. Like you
Yeah,
did that
don't
though.
blame me for him. Don't blame me for him. Uh but yeah, and but far as it takes a lot to be a black father for real. Um because another thing that I realized, being a black father, your kids ain't gonna respect you if the mama ain't listening to you. So you got to get to a point where if she respects you and what you say, then the kids really will start listening to you too. But if they realize that they can go to mama when they don't want to do what daddy say do, and she
Yeah,
call you or she says in front of them what I tell you to do, that's a whole nother battle. You know what I mean? So
that's that division.
it's yeah, and it takes, for me, it took for me to just sit them all down and to let them open up to me about where I go wrong. And I never told them, I never rebutted anything that they said. I just took it on the chin. And after they got it all out, I was like, okay, now how can we be better for our children? You really gotta treat them almost like you still go with them type shit for them to for them to act right with your children, man. Like,
yeah.
cause I can just go over there, show up, get my kids, and don't speak. Now the next time I do that, it's gonna be hard for me to go get my kids, cause I ain't say nothing to her. Lord, don't let them get
And
a new
it
nigga.
shouldn't be like that.
Don't let them get a new nigga, and you don't care.
Now that's some. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That's a question itself, and it goes along with fatherhood. Like, how does that work when women that you've had kids by have other relationships? Now that you're not with them, of course, now you got your own relationship, so you probably don't give a damn. But when, like, do you prefer that they introduce like you to them because these men are gonna be around your kids? Like, what is that process like?
I
Nah, I I don't. I tell them I meet your husband, because you have to think about the, like Corey was breaking out down the statistics earlier about the women that you want to be taller, all those things. Okay, now we can break this down about when new stepdaddy shit coming in, right? If you got kids that can't nobody else raise, how long you think that man gonna be in your life? So if you trying to make me meet every man that you think gonna be that man, and you got this many
Come
kids
on
by
with it.
this many, but I'm trying to say it so I don't offend nobody, but it's a real thing, because he's
Yeah,
stepping into a role where he's probably trying to set structure, And so, and if you are the woman that says these are my children, I got them, he ain't gonna be there long. You know what I mean? So I don't. And my second reason is I don't care to meet the men that's gonna be around my children. Is um they're gonna people gonna give you the best version of them. So I don't got that long to figure out because I'm not that kind of guy that touch children. So I can't spot it based off you talking to me. Like I don't, those are the biggest manipulators in the world. People that mess with kids. So it's like I don't, based off me and you meeting each other, I'm not in that house every day. So that's where mama comes in at. Like she
Mhm.
gotta know that in order to keep me out of prison, you better pick the right one. Like and luckily they do. And I done been I done met a couple of them, but I don't prefer it until it's
No,
serious.
I agree. I
you
agree.
speaking facts, and that's how
Yeah.
definitely I think how it should be. Like, I think that coming from a woman, I think that when we date other men or whoever we dating, I think it should be a time period before you even introduce them to your kids. There definitely should be not you meeting the kids off the bat because, like you said, who's to say how long they gonna be around? And
Right.
like you said, they're gonna want some structure. They're gonna want to play stepdaddy, stepmama. I ain't got time for that. Because at the end
Right.
of the day, who? They my kids.
Right.
So if you trying to play stepdaddy, I need you to understand there are stepdaddy qualities. And like for me, I don't shop for boyfriend, girlfriend. I shop for father figure. It's a
Right.
difference. You
Right.
can't when you have kids, it's a definitely difference when you shopping for yourself and you shopping for your kids.
Oh
You know what I'm
we.
saying? So
Oh
I
we.
think as a
Speak.
mom, yeah, as a mom, you definitely I think you should definitely have some a timeline. All right, we met this timeline. Now you done showed me who you are. I done got to met you. I should even met your mom and them at this point. But you can meet everybody. But you ain't finna meet my kids though, cause now my kids gonna get attached. Kids got feelings.
That
Kids gonna ask
yeah,
who you are.
that was my third point. Every person, I done been with that had kids, the hardest thing was, when them kids get attached to you, is leaving. So
Yeah,
and it wasn't like I came in trying to make an attachment. It just happened. And once again,
right.
that's another
And that's
child
why you
that's
gotta be
scarred.
careful on who you let your
Right.
kids around.
Yeah. But every I feel like every relationship I ever left, I was forced to leave it because it was just anyway. But
Say, let the Lord lose you. Let him lose you.
look, man,
Let them use you.
it's just I just want us to I just want us to get to a point as black moms and black fathers that when we break up, that because when we was together I was the greatest father in the world.
Mm, mm,
So how simultaneously when we break up I'm terrible now.
mm.
So I
Exactly.
never got that. Like I just yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Zero to life
Nah,
sentence
what that
real quick.
logic that Corey was talking about? That logic, Corey, where that logic
I
at?
also said this: things that we protect, we can lose the logic over and emotional take over.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll do it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. Don't touch my babies, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because I
yeah. Now we all got good relationships, but it took.
Y'all, I don't know if y'all can hear Jason, but we nodding our
Yeah,
head because we can hear Jason in the background. And Jason
yeah,
giving his Jason dropping some gems in the background. So
that's
that's
yeah.
clear.
why we just nodding because we can hear him in the conversation.
I,
And he's dropping his gems.
no, no,
I We had a comment though that dropped in. Corey, after this comment, I want to hear what you had to say on the topic too. But we had a comment. B Capture, who is my female photographer. Come on, B. B Capture said, "How can you ensure that the moms are instilling the values that you consider important for them to learn?"
oh yes.
The
Like
moms or the kids?
the moms that are instilling the values that you feel important for your kids, even if you're not around, right? That's what
Oh,
B.
okay.
Right.
Gotcha,
Like
gotcha,
Jason
gotcha.
started out by saying, it's a conversation first, right? And when there's a respect factor in there, they're going to carry the things that you're saying. They're going to hear it, and they're going because the one thing
Yeah.
everybody knows when it comes to Sharice and how we handle our kids, we one band, one sound. You know what I'm saying? And I even told my kids, you can't turn me against your mama. I don't care what y'all be doing. Because kids try to play this. They try to play this. Come on, let's try to play it. Let's try to play this
Facts.
stuff.
They
You know
do.
what I'm saying? When they mad at one, they try to play the other. I said, I don't care. I ain't doing it. I agree with your mama. Whatever she said. I'll hit you. Come on, mom. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
The
That's how
fact
yeah,
he
young
for
sounds
that
just
baby.
like him.
That baby, that baby trying to play us. Oh, he trying to play us. He'll do it. He'll do it. That's why, but we don't because that's why you have to stay on one accord. And with that, because she respected the man I was, and she was the type of woman who had a father in her life who showed her.
Mm,
Now that transitions over into now having kids and having a man in her life that does what he says he's gonna do by those kids. So then you know what she does? Now she takes all those values and when he ain't around, well, you know what your daddy would say. You know what your daddy would say. Don't make me call you. See that when it's in there, it's that don't make me call you daddy. Huh?
yeah.
Don't make me say it. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things to ensure that she's doing. But just like
That
Jason,
threat be something
and I don't know,
serious.
yeah, it starts with a conversation, and we have it. You heard I talk maybe once or twice a week, and just touch bases on things like that, right? And our kids are grown now, but she also has a relationship with my wife. You see what I'm saying? They have a relationship. He has a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the guy she's with, him and I have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So what them kids can't do, they can't come disturb the peace we got in this adult village over here. Because I'll say screw them in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that to answer that question to be captured. That's what ensures all of that. That's what ensures that. First the conversation, then the infrastructure of the conversation, then everybody execute our points, and all us staying on the same page. Because here's the thing, the
Facts.
kids are going to get their own life. We can't let them violate what we done built. We
Yep.
can't let them violate what
Yep.
we done built because we got to be on the
Yep.
same page. Because they're gonna come in with some.
At all times.
That's why me and my
Yep.
youngest son are beefing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's why on my page I posted with my boy Rampage Jackson walking up on his son like, yo, I give you that word. Because I know it'd be on his mind. I know it'd be on his mind. But yes, yes. I've raised
DX, are you stuck? Pause.
yeah,
Is what you
I've
yesing
raised
to?
I've raised something that wasn't mine, and that's what I'm saying. In there, there's especially the two young girls that are around me now, like they started at like 3 knowing me, and yeah, yeah, and it's come on through, Jason. He said step, foster, and real. You know what I'm saying? And so that thing can be tough because a lot of times, man, a lot of times it can be tough because when there's a disconnect from the biological, sometimes that kid still wants that relationship. And as they get older, that can be if
Yeah.
you don't address that thing as they're growing, if you're still around, that can become a thing. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing, especially with those young girls, is I've never I think Jason said, can he come in? I think that's what he said. T, can you hear it? I think Jason
Oh,
said,
there's that. Yeah, you can come in, Jason.
yeah. I've never tried to erase their father from their mind. See what I'm saying? I made a conscious effort to make sure that he was
Yeah.
still part of their mind. I was there to give them what they were missing from him, but I never tried to replace the fact of what he was to them. But I kept it conscious there. So we had those
Mm.
conversations.
I
Right? Jason, you about to
Absolutely. But I want to answer her thing.
Now, did you
She
help
said,
with their
how do you
relationship,
build a
Corey?
bond?
oh, he was horrible.
Bridge their
He
relationship?
was, he was horrible. And before Jason goes on, he said to to the mother one day, "Hey, see if the other daddy got it. If he don't, then ask me." I couldn't fix that part. He was just horrible. Yeah, I like the face. As you were
The
saying,
audacity, the caucasity.
But But what B Capture said, she said, "How do you build a bond with the kids and their fathers?" The thing about it is, you just have to build a bond with the kids. You can't look at building it with the other person because their attitude may not be the same as yours. I walked into every relationship saying, if you got kids, I'm here to be a role model for them and to be what they're missing. And if you look at it from that point of view, it kind of all works out. Especially when you're talking about foster kids who have been bounced from the system to system, and you got to fix problems in between, is what Corey was saying. When you got to come in and correct what you didn't do, but you have to say, okay, I'm man enough to take time out to fix that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That's when the relationships get better
mm-hmm.
because you can't. It's not about just being a dad. We look at men like men should just come in and be like, this is what you're gonna do and you're gonna listen to me. That's not being a dad. A dad is saying, I look at each one of the kids for their personality and I gotta address them on the way that I need to address them. I got 4 boys and I got 2 foster daughters that I have right now. My kids are man, when I say on a completely different scale, each and every one of them, I had to figure it out, and it takes time. If you're a stepdad, you don't know, you wasn't born with that kid, so you got to really come in and try to be his friend first so he can trust you, and then come back and say, okay, but just because I'm getting to know you now, I got to lay the ground rules. We're not friends.
Yeah,
I'm here to make sure you, and one of the things I say on a daily, my kids will attest to you, I'm not your friend. My job as a parent is to get you to the best point in life. We're not going to see eye to
Mm,
eye, and I'm not going to agree with everything you do. But point to what Corey said, me and my fiance now, every girl I've ever dated, my kids came first. And if we were just dating, you don't have priority over my kids.
yeah.
right,
If
right.
they
Now,
call,
you don't
I'm
think there's a
coming.
relationship? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was saying if they call, I'm coming. But yes, there has to be a relationship between your significant other and your kids. That's what I love about Melissa because she took my 4 boys just like I took her daughters and said, okay, we're even. She calls them. She calls my boys more than I do. Because as
Yeah,
a dad, we don't really call a lot. But
we don't.
she's the one that's like, I'm going to Arizona this weekend because they set that up. I didn't know nothing about it. I just was told we going to Arizona.
Right,
But
absolutely
that's
right.
how it has to be
Now,
if you right.
I feel you though.
Go ahead.
I feel you on the you're supplementing what's being missed from their biological father, but I think there still should be a line of conversation, a line of respect between the stepdad and and the biological
And
father,
and I
because
agree.
at the end of the day, yeah, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be around his kids, whether he's a deadbeat or not. And I think
And
out of respect,
and,
even if
and
using myself as an example, if I got with someone, even though my daughter's a deadbeat, dad is a deadbeat, I'm still, hey, this is her dad, so you'll know who this nigga is. Look, this the person that I'm with. We about to get married. This who he is. This who's gonna be around your child. So it's a line. It's just a line of respect. Even though I don't deal with him anymore, there's still a line of this, so you'll know. Hey,
and
this who's
most
gonna be around your kid. This who I'm with. This is the father's finna step up and do what you didn't do. I may not say it like that, but that's what's really gonna happen. But that's
but
that's what it is.
that's messed up though. I wouldn't say it like that. But the thing about it is, I'm gonna piggyback on what Corey said
Keeping it
earlier.
real.
I'm gonna piggyback on what Corey said earlier though. It's not on me as the stepdad to make that happen.
It's
It's
not.
on you, mom. No, it's on you as the mom to make that conversation happen. Let me tell you why. And this is very important. And a lot of stepdads get into a lot of fights with the real dad because they try to come in this way. As a parent, a step parent, I'm here. I can't come in and be dad. But what I can come in and say, you are my girl, those are your kids, and I'm going to do what you need me to do for both you and the kids. Because I don't owe the dad anything. I don't owe him a conversation. I don't owe him nothing. But as you as a mom, if you're doing your job, shit, that's where it's like, hey, baby daddy, I'm dating this guy. He's awesome, but I want you guys to get to know each other because your child is here
Mm-hmm.
with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that conversation. So if he gets buck wild
I
and he
don't know,
goes,
Jason. I
hey,
feel a
that's
little different. I mean, I
hey,
was
I hear
raised.
you. But that drama, that's where the drama comes from because most women think like you think. That it's our job to go to that man and approach another man about his child that we have nothing to do with. That's the problem. That's where most confrontations come from.
I can see that the woman should set that. I can see that the woman should set that up, but I think as a man both should want that conversation. Most
But
men
that's
don't want that conversation.
But
I
that's
think both
only
men
if
should
the
want
other man
that
wants it.
conversation.
But that's only if the other man
Okay.
wants it. I could want it all day as the stepdad. I could want to meet him.
Yeah.
But you know what happens when we approach them? I'm sorry, Corey. You know, and
Well,
Corey's about to tell me the same thing. You know what happened when we approach them? That's where all the drama, because now they feel like they're dominant over us. So
yeah.
now our egos get ripped. Now we're fighting. Fuck you, nigga. I don't give a damn. I'm here with your kid and you not. So what you say? That's where the rift comes from. That's why the mom has to be like, hey, I need you to meet him because this is who I'm going to be with. That's why I love what JerMarcus said. I'm not meeting all your boyfriends. I could care less. But if you say this is the nigga you about to marry, yes, we
Let's
need to
talk.
have a conversation.
Let's talk. Yeah. Because you know why, T? Because I don't know what that thing was like for y'all when you broke up, and I don't know how he talks and treats you now. Because a lot of times when we step into these situations, it's not the best energy from y'all two, or the two, you know what I'm saying, the mother and the father. And again, talking to you, remember when I said the restaurant, if the dude walk up to that restaurant, the society looks at me to see what I'm gonna do to protect you. So if we're in a situation where you got a dude
Yeah.
who talks to you any kind of way, I'm not really eager to meet that dude because it could go. Because I've been in a situation where I've talked to a girl and he's done that. Like he talks so raw. I heard him on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I had a conscious decision to make to now. How do I go? Where do I go into this? Because obviously he has no boundaries and he doesn't respect her. And of course, if we're
Hmm.
together and he does that around me, I have no choice but to respond or just bow out. In most cases, I'll get talked about, right? So to
Absolutely.
what Jason is saying, why that has to be said, because that how he determines and responds to you, I'll know how I can approach him and talk to him now once we have this conversation.
And it's vice versa with women. My baby moms, I never, hey, I talk to both of them. She's about to be in my life. You can either be a part or you don't have to, but she's going to get to know my child. So I'd rather for y'all to get to know each other. And that's where I built. But it's up to me to set that, the man,
Yeah,
to set
yeah,
that precedent
Right.
because I'm the dad. It's up to you as the mom opposite to set that precedent. I know it sounds crazy, and women walk around like you as a man should just stand up. No, that's the reason why most of us end up dead. That's the reason why most of us end up in jail because we're allowing the women to push us to situations that could have been controlled if they
mhm,
would have just spoke and
yeah.
made a conversation.
Because what if this is a situation, T? What if you are done with him, but you're not creating a boundary from him, and y'all are back and forth. See, I can walk into that thing and think he's being crazy with you, but I don't know the stuff that you going over there doing when I'm not around. As far as him, and it don't have to be sexual. It could be you going over, beating on his door, cussing him out, riding by, shooting a finger, whatever that case may be. So if I come in and interject myself on something I don't have all the information on, I can either look foolish or I can end up dead or locked up or locked up.
And
I
I
just
feel that,
want
and I feel that. But again, that's why I feel like there should be a conversation. And I guess too, I was raised by a stepfather, and I was lucky to be raised by my biological father. But they did have a conversation. They did have a conversation like, "Hey, this is such and such. I'm such and such, and I'm raising your kids now," and that was it. And they had respect for each other at the end of the day. If my stepdaddy needed to drop me off at my biological father's house, he did that. But there, but it was no like they wasn't friendly. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no call up, hey, what you doing, girl? Your kid bad. It was none of that shit. But it was cordial. You know what I mean? So that's why on my end on that spectrum too is like I feel like it should be a conversation because then again you gotta think about the kids. I grew up where I called my stepdaddy daddy. Like you don't get that a lot where and it wasn't by option. I grew up from the old school.
Yeah,
That's your daddy. Even though I knew my real daddy and he was in the picture, my mom made me call my stepdaddy daddy.
Yeah.
I grew
but
up in that old
that,
school.
that wasn't always right either. That could have turned out real bad too for both sides. It just so happened on
It
your
could have.
perspective, on your spectrum, it didn't. I want to say what B Capture said. I love reading her comments. She said it's crazy how men and women have different views for the same situation, but it's because men think logically. Logically, to us, the smarter move would be like you set up the meeting with me and your baby daddy, because that, like what Corey said, that'll give us a chance. If you call him and that nigga on the phone with you, like I ain't trying to meet that nigga, then why am I going to talk to him? Because
Yeah.
we gonna end up fighting.
Yes. Back to that. Watch where he's at. Back to that respect thing. I don't know Jason, but I know I can say something to him that turns it from verbal to physical real quick.
Right. He gonna say,
Whereas the
fuck
mama
that
do
nigga.
know, like, whereas the mom do know what to set him off and know
Right.
his boundaries and
You
stuff.
know
I
Just
it.
like
get
a
you.
just
I get you. I
just like
get
the
you.
dad know about the baby mama. I know my baby mama. I know if I would, when I was 16, I had two of my kids when I was 16 and 18. I knew that I couldn't bring no girl around my baby mama. I had to go pick my kids up solo because if she saw you in the car, oh, we having a whole situation, even though we ain't been together for 2 years.
I know
We
dang well you didn't bring that by my house to pick these kids up.
exactly.
Period.
It wasn't
Y'all
We
know
until
them
were finna go
conversations
to
we
the
have.
park, and it makes sense for me to come pick the kids up, and go back and pick her up. It made sense. The park is by your house. I'm
You
and
just
I
chose
saying,
to bring her.
you better get her a lift to the park. You don't bring her by my house.
You chose to
right.
bring her.
I'm just saying, but you notice, right, Corey? We
Yeah.
know who we deal with. I
Yes.
knew
Yeah.
not to do it. I knew now as they got older, situations got better. Now you with somebody, I'm with somebody. Now we done met. Now we're like a big old happy family. I can talk because I am that dude that once I like your boyfriend, we cool. Nigga, come hang out. I'm going out. Let's go. And most of them was like, Jay, you cool. Let's roll. But they did have some. The nigga had to whoop them, put my hands on them niggas.
Yeah.
Put them paws on.
Yeah.
I want to follow up with JFL Productions, which is AKA Fred, my videographer, in the building. So he had a comment. He said, "Facts. This is what Corey was talking about earlier. The woman has to set up that convo between stepdad and real dad because if you don't, now you putting the man in a situation that he is now on guard."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
And I
I
was told
definitely
at a young
I
age,
feel that.
once a man gets defensive, my dad said, once you get defensive, and I feel like I have to put that defensive role up, women, this is a key point for you to really pay attention to just in your relationship. Once a man goes into defense mode, there's nothing you can really say that's going to take him away from that. Because now I have to put it in the back of my head like, is this the real woman I need to be with? Because she put me in a situation that could have cost me my life, freedom, or my child.
Shout out to the boy. Hey,
I
you
feel
know
you,
why I did that? I'm gonna
Jason.
tell you why I did that. I did it. I've never chat. Jason, this is the first time we've ever met, right?
Yep.
It's the first time we've ever had a conversation. You see
Yep.
how, as two men that have never met, a lot of our ideologies line up together and how we do.
Yes.
And I wasn't raised around Jason then. We ain't seen each other at family reunion. I ain't seen him at Walmart. None of that. We had this
And I
conversation.
live in Vegas. So
And I'm in Texas. That's what that thing is about. When we start to understand, when men get into place and really understand the reality of where we at and what needs to be done and how conducting yourself, when men have been healed, when we went through and we know how to use our words, these are the conversations
Yes.
that happen between men. Even if me and Jason was to disagree on something, we understand that the respect factor on the disagreements may just come from a set
yeah.
of being a different culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't go like, oh, this stupid mother. You know what I'm saying? No, no, no. It could be just a culture difference. But the one thing is, generally, a lot of times when men are in opposition, we're going to see the things the same way.
When we're Yeah, and I like what you said earlier. I know we're gonna run a little bit over, but I got you, T. You know, we on the station, so we're good. But I love what you said in the beginning when you talk about God alignment. One of the things that I was gonna say when you said that was, man, I need y'all to stop talking like you're the head of the household. And I'm saying this for a reason. And if you really understand God, you understand. And he said it when he said the house is not built from the roof down. And that's how that works. We are the foundation. We are everything. The house settles on us, meaning your family settles on you. If you fall apart, your family falls apart. If you don't handle pressure well, your kids don't handle pressure well. Your wife doesn't handle pressure well. I'm gonna tell y'all a real quick story that just happened right now. My wife, when I jumped off screen and I couldn't catch JerMarcus falling off the first time, was because my wife came through the door. Somebody had called her on the phone saying that she missed jury duty and that they were coming to arrest her. And my wife used to be a cop, so she ain't playing nothing about going to jail. And I had to leave you guys while y'all were talking to go calm her down and be like, it's a scam. I had to call the number at the courthouse who said that this is a scam. And I'm like, but if I would have been like, what they talking about, babe? If I what they going, she would have just overreacted. This would have been all drawn out because men, we are logical. And the problem is in this new generation, men react on their emotions because we've been more with our moms and we've been more with our aunties. And we've been, if men can get back to that logical thinking of let me think this out before I open my mouth. Because when I argue with people, I won't argue with you. I'm gonna think about what I have to. I'm gonna let you yell, and then I'm gonna say, "Okay, I got you." I tell my girl before I say something bad to you, just like it took you 2 days to think about it and talk to me about it, I need those same 2 days to get my reaction because we got to get men back to that line.
Men control the temperature.
Yes,
Men
we
control
do.
the temperature in the household, and I
We
don't think a
should
lot of men
never meet that
understand
woman
that. When I
on.
say temperature wise, that means the attitude in the house. The leadership. He
Yes.
controls that temperature. If he coming in hot, women, we finna respond hot. The kids gonna respond hot. Like it's a train reaction. So men definitely carry that temperature of the
Yeah.
household.
We should never respond to the emotions of our women. And the four
Ever.
times I did, those were the 4 times me and my wife had a blow up. And
Hey,
when
the
I
one time,
stopped doing it, go
hey
ahead, Jay.
Corey, I'm with you. The one time I let my emotions take over, I was 46 years old and caught a case behind it, my very first one. And that's when I realized, oh, Jason, you got to dial back. You let somebody get you into a situation that your emotions could have kept, that your emotions took over more than your thought. But man, we get hurt too. So don't fall back on your mistakes. Just understand that, hey, we are logical. We are built to be logical. And this society has put things around us that keeps us in our feelings.
Amen.
Yep.
Somebody, well,
Facts.
B said, damn,
Facts.
Jason.
Okay, B was like, fire down. Wow. Y'all, it has been a show tonight. Like we have covered parenting, stepfather, foundation, fatherhood, being a parent on script. We have covered so much tonight. I thank you, Jason, for coming on. Corey, I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. JerMarcus, I thank you so much for coming on, y'all. JerMarcus had to jump off real quick. But I thank you so much, JerMarcus, for coming on tonight. Y'all keep killing it on screen. Like keep killing it, keep doing what you're doing. Keep being the dads out there that we need. And keep being the example of fathers. Because y'all definitely are killing the game. And I just appreciate y'all for coming on. Y'all already know that every Thursday night is Real Raw Let's Talk. Every Thursday. Y'all don't want to miss next week's episode where we got more special guests. Y'all make sure you tune in. Also, go to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss on the special guests and the special topics because your girl keep the topics hot. Thanks, B, for saying it was a great show because it definitely was. Baby, it was spicy and it was real. And I love that we keep it authentic over here at the Real Raw Let's Talk Show. Y'all definitely tune in. When you want to get real and you want to get raw, y'all tune in. So let's talk. We out.
ring up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day. It's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ring up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day. It's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worse, like some gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bum bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on the TV screen. It's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut these hating hoes off like a fresh fade. Get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari Reed. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. If I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes, this here's the real raw. Let's. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And they know.
Schaefer, that's a hit.
For real.
I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ring up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day. It's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ring up the clock. The clock.